Hey, I'm Chicken Johnny, and you're down in the grow room with Chicken Johnny. We're about to take a walk over to the planting table for Gladiator Challenge number 3. Now, Gladiator Challenge number 3 is to grow something from a fruit or vegetable that you bought at a grocery store. So let's go over to the planting table and see what Mama Goose bought us to plant. So the challenge that Will It Grow put out was to grow 2 items that you bought at the grocery store and to plant them and grow them just like you would anything else. So here's what my wife got me. She got me a little strawberry here and one of these tiny Will It Grow peppers. We're going to plant that. This is called an anaconda pepper. We're going to see how that goes. I've got 2 of them. Got to decide which one I'm going to use, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got a perforated tray. This is so I can bottom water, but I don't want to put any cells in here. So I'm going to fill this up with some soil, or soilless mix. This is peat moss, and there's a little bit of vermiculite in here. I haven't, in the past I hadn't used vermiculite. I have been putting a little bit of vermiculite in on some of the larger plantings, and I'm going to put the pepper in a larger pot, so I want to have a little bit of vermiculite. It'll help maintain the moisture so that the peat moss will then, I'm hoping, will then absorb the moisture better if it gets a little dried out. Also, I'm planning on keeping it in that container once it goes outside. So, but with the strawberries, I've just got a little bit of vermiculite and a little bit of perlite. Couldn't think of the name. And I'm just going to tamp this down. I just want it to be a little firm. I don't want it to be, you know, real firm. And I want to kind of keep it a little bit level so that water doesn't favor one area over another. Well, I could play with this all day, but I'm not going to. All right, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to set this over to the side here, and I'll get rid of this. Now we're going to take our strawberry, and I'm going to just trim some of the seeds right on the skin. I'm just going to harvest those seeds just like that, see? And then I'm going to lay them right into my my container here. And so you know, you may have noticed that in the grocery stores the strawberries seem to be getting huge. And so you may be wondering to yourself, well, my strawberries don't get that big. How could I make my strawberries that big? And so the answer to that is, if you want big strawberries, start with a big strawberry variety. You can look through seed catalogs and find out which varieties are going to give you the largest fruits. Boy, does that smell good. But you can also, if you can get it, you can get gibberellin. And gibberellin is a plant growth hormone, often sometimes called a growth regulator. And you can spray the gibberellin on the strawberry. Now, many of you are probably saying to yourself, boy, Chicken Johnny's gone over the edge. Not only is he not organic, now he's advocating spraying strawberries with growth hormone. No, I'm not. In fact, I think if you spray with gibberellin, you'll get what you asked for, and you'll have a crop failure. That's a good strawberry. But it's not a great strawberry, because one of the things that gibberellin does is it causes the strawberry to grow beyond what it naturally would have grown. And so instead of coming up with kind of a natural tasting strawberry, you end up with something that isn't quite what you expected. So I'm breaking these up a little bit more because I want to be able to separate them out if they do grow. So that's what the tray looks like. I've got bits of strawberries set out there, and there's a lot of seeds involved here. So we should get some strawberries, and we'll just have to thin them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a little bit of dirt over the top of these, because that will give something for the strawberries to push against as the seeds germinate. I should have done a little research on this before I did these. I would have had a better chance. Certain things like tobacco, for example, need to have a bit of sunlight. I'm going to pack these down so that they get good contact between the soil and the berry. I think I've got between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch of soil on those. Now I'm going to take these over. Strawberries are a cool weather crop, so I'm not going to put these in my germination chamber. I'm just going to put them in a place where they will be getting a fair amount of humidity and a little bit of a cooler environment until they begin to come up, and I expect it'll be several weeks. I would think it's going to be several weeks before I get any kind of strawberry growth coming off of that tray. I planted strawberries from seed in the past, and I found that it takes 3 or 4 weeks for those strawberries to germinate. And in the cooler weather, they'll germinate about just as fast. If I put them in the germination chamber, I found that they just don't germinate at all. It gets too warm. Strawberries don't want to germinate at 80 degrees, so they just sit there. Not sure what the dynamics are of that, but that's my experience. All right, I am going to get a pot here. This is a nursery pot, and it's perforated. It's got holes. I don't know if you see that. It's got holes in the bottom of it, and there's a little bit of soil in the bottom. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm not going to put any filler in there at all. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fill this up with my soil mix. There's a little bit of, this is a little bit of a different mixture because I plan on growing this the whole year. So this lower section has got some compost in it, so that the peppers will have something to sustain them. And then this is the top 4 inches or so. I'm going to put my peat moss in. I don't need to come all the way up to the top, but I want to be fairly close. I don't want my seedlings to be shaded in their the early part of their development. So there you go, just about filled up. And now I have 2 peppers, and one of them is a yellow and the other one is a dark red. And these are the same variety of peppers, and but I'm going to use the dark red, and the reason is that the maturity of the pepper is such that it begins to mature in the green color, and then as it matures you'll see them turning a yellow and then kind of an orange and then a red, and then when they get to this dark red they're almost overripe. But that leads me to think that maybe the seed development is a little bit more advanced in there. So I'm going to take my cutters and I'm just going to cut around the top of the skin there a little bit. We'll get all these peppers out of here, all these seeds. That's a pretty sweet pepper right there. Got a little peat moss in there. It's all right. Then we'll break this part of it open. And I'm just going to take this, bury it right in the center here. And then I'm going to take all of the rest of these seeds that were down along the edges. I'm going to drop them in. All of these seeds should be viable, I hope. Alright, this one goes in the salad tonight. And I'm going to take a little bit of soil. I'm just going to sift it in over the top here. I just want to cover those seeds a little bit and tamp them down so that I've got some good firm interaction between the seed and the soil. Still got a couple seeds that are sticking up, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So that's it. That is my Gladiator Seed Challenge for 2021 Shed Wars. Now the challenge was given out by Will It Grow, the Portuguese man. I'm Chicken Johnny Imitzersham. I'll see you again. Eat your vegetables, and hey, take care of yourself.